I know I'm late to the party. The latest generation of Nintendo DS consoles was released back in 2017. It was discontinued back in 2020. Nintendo eShop closed a bit more than a month ago, and the current prices of 2DS XLs and 3DS XLs are just all over the place. So, should you be spending your own money on this console in 2023? Well, let's find out. Hey everyone, it's Blade, and today I want to talk with you about the latest generation of DS consoles, the new 2DS XL and new 3DS XL, and if you should buy it in 2023. I did buy it, but I bought it back in 2021 and it was refurbished, so the price was good. So to say as early as possible, you cannot buy a new 2DS XL or a new 3DS XL from Nintendo Store. It doesn't matter where you are. I think they're all out of the refurbished versions, and the new packaged versions were sold out back many years ago. The original 2DS and 3DS consoles were released back in 2011. The only revision that both of those consoles had was the new generation, both for the XL and small versions. However, the biggest difference was from the 2DS to new 2DS XL, because the old DS was just a brick and this is a clamshell style design, the same way as the 3DS goes. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the 2DS XL design in terms of the outer casing, but I have to mention a couple of really cool looking additions over the years, such as the Pokeball edition, Hyrule Shield edition, and the Pikachu edition. Just look at this face, it's so cute. I wish I could buy one, but it's too expensive. The new 3DS XL, however, had a ton of different editions. However, not all of them were good. There were a couple of Monster Hunter editions, there were a couple of Pokemon editions, as well as my favorite one, which is Super Nintendo. I guess if you've seen pictures of the new 3DS XL, the Super Nintendo edition was the most popular one, and well, still you can get a casing. It's gonna be fake, but you can still get it on AliExpress or Alibaba to put it on your stock 3DS XL. I also wanted to mention a cool design of the original 3DLL edition, which stands for XL in Japanese market, which is One Piece edition. I really like One Piece, therefore maybe for you the design is not really good, but I do like it, and the whole aesthetics of this console is just too nice. If you like to see a review on the 3DSLL One Piece edition, subscribe to the channel, put the like down below, and comment that in the comment section down below. There still could be a chance for you to get the new 2DS XL somewhere in the box, like GameStop for example, that was known as EB Games until recently here in Canada. However, you have to understand that this is going to be a refurbished version, and it's not going to be quality of Nintendo refurbished. It's going to be much worse. You can just browse through the subreddits where people bought it from GameStop and it was just a really badly used consoles. Okay, so at this point of time, I'm trying to record this video and I'm always saying the new 2DS XL and the new 3DS XL. From now on, if I'm gonna talk about the new versions, I'm just gonna call them the 2DS and 3DS XL. If I'm gonna talk about the original generation, I will specifically say original 2DS and 3DS XL. So keep that in mind. Going back to the places where you might find the console, that would be your online marketplaces like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Kijiji, but the prices are there start from $150 US. That's around 200 Canadian dollars. That's just too much for a 6-year-old console. You have to also keep in mind that the original retail price of the new 2DS XL was $149.99 US, and there were multiple sales throughout the year where you could get it for $129, and usually it came in a bundle with a game. I bought my personal 2DS XL back in June 2021, but it was still possible to grab it from the Nintendo Store. I was browsing for a couple of weeks on different subreddits. I was looking at Wario64 Twitter account, and on one day when I was in the office, I got an email notification from one of the subreddits, and I had only like 4 minutes to buy the console. I did it really fast, and then within like 5-6 minutes, it was already out of stock. Now, looking at the prices of the used consoles, well, I'm really happy that I managed to grab it back then. Even though it didn't come with the original retail box, it still came in the package, with charger. The box is quite simple, it's just a white plain box with a sticker on top with the DS picture. And the DS itself came in fully refurbished. The casing was immaculate, it was clean, and I didn't have any scratches. So it looked like a brand new console. The same way if you get the Apple refurbished devices, they will be just clean new devices except for the different box. The reason I went with the new 2DS XL is because the used market was crazy even back at the time, and the 3DS XLs were going for too much money. I will not spend $300 on a console that I might be using, because to keep in mind, I had experience with Nintendo consoles just for a bit of the time. I used to have the DSi when it just originally launched, and I had like a couple of games to that, but I wasn't a Nintendo fan. I do have a Switch, but I was a PlayStation kid. I had the PSP, I had PS Vita, and I had multiple versions of PSP. The first original fat version, then the 3000, and if you're interested to see about the PSP, do let me know down in the comments. If you're thinking what are the differences between the 2DS XL and 3DS XL, well, there are just two major ones. One is how it looks, and the second one is the screen and the actual like 3D thing. The new 2DS XL has the same internals as the new 3DS XL. There are a couple of major, for some people, differences, especially for me, as I do not really like how the new 2DS XL looks, and the build quality is just, I think it's not really good, to be honest. I haven't touched the 3D XL in a long time, so I cannot say that it's much better quality, but looking at the videos online, I don't see that happening to those consoles. The second difference is the actual 3D aspect. The 3DS and 3DS XL both have the 3D capabilities. It's not that you have to put the glasses on to see the 3D effect, it's just going to be from the screen, which looks really cool, but probably you will turn it off within 5 to 10 minutes after using the console. However, there are a couple of games that do use the 3D effect quite well, like the Mario 3D World, where actually without the effect, it's quite hard to navigate around some of the levels. Both of the consoles have two screens. The top one is 4.inch basic screen, like it's just 400 by 240 pixels, so don't expect much, but I wouldn't say that it looks bad. And the bottom screen is just a bit smaller, being 4.18 inches. The second gimmick of both of the consoles is the touchscreen. The bottom screen is a capacitive touchscreen, that's why you have the stylus included in the console. And again, it looks like a gimmick. Most of the games don't use it at all, or like have like a map in there, so it doesn't bring any gameplay features. However, one of the games, and it's my favorite game for the 3DS generation, is GTA Chinatown Wars. The mini games in there are just all over the place, and in a good way. So you can steal a car, so you have to hotwire it, you have to unlock a safe, you have to look through the bag of your friendly's neighborhood dealer. To be honest, I'm not sure how Nintendo actually allowed Rockstar to put this game on the family-friendly console, but I'm happy they did. As I already started to talk about the games, until recently you had two legal options to acquire them: the physical copies in the store and Nintendo eShop. With the closure of Nintendo eShop, the only legal way to buy your games would be going to the refurbished section in EB Games or GameStop, finding them there for like 15-20 bucks, or looking at the local marketplace. And also you might find your luck in the thrift shops, because a lot of people actually give 3D games there for a cheap price, so you can probably find something for like 10-15 bucks also. Even though thrift stores might be an option, I think the majority of the games you will find there will be Imagine Babies 3D. I'm not sure if you're looking for that specific game, but when I tried it, it doesn't seem too bad. It's just surprising that Ubisoft was the publisher of that kind of a game. Personally, I have a couple of games that I bought through Nintendo eShop, and also have my old good cartridge for the GTA Chinatown Wars. However, right now, if you're gonna get any digital games, that's gonna be only using your sales and your eye patch. The homebrew situation is all over the place right now on YouTube and Reddit, so if you are wanting to homebrew your own console that you have at home, feel free to look it up online. It's quite easy. It's a really easy process to do, so you should not worry about it. But if you don't have a console and you're thinking of getting one just for the purposes of pirating games, that's illegal. It's easy, but it's illegal. So the safest bet will be buying a used game cartridge from someone and then finding somewhere a ROM, so at least your soul is clean. The problem with that is that the prices right now are going higher and higher each day because people know that you are not able to buy games legally in any other way. Should you be getting a 3DS XL or a 2DS XL right now in 2023? Well, if you're a Nintendo fan, probably you have one of those consoles laying around your house and you're playing it every single day or at least once a week. If you're a person like me that likes a couple of Mario games, a couple of Zelda titles, and some of the Nintendo exclusive games, well, it could be a good option for a purchase. However, do not buy this console solely for emulation purposes. Yes, I didn't tell you about this, but this console can emulate other consoles like GBA and some NES and SNES versions of the games. However, the quality of that emulation is not so good, and the better option would be getting a specific emulation device for that purposes. The reason I'm saying not to buy the console is because of the price. Look, right now on the used market, you can find some good deals, of course, if you're gonna monitor it like 24/7. But if you're wanting to buy a console right now and you have like a 2 weeks, 3 weeks within which you want to get this console, you will spend at least 200 Canadian dollars or like 150 US dollars for the worst of the options available online. It will be scuffed, probably the charger will not be working, and the battery will be swollen, and the person wouldn't have stylus for sure. And looking at those prices online, I actually decided to look up the used Nintendo Switch versions and even OLED versions. You can find them for the same price as you would pay for the new 3DS XL. Of course, 2DS XL is cheaper, but it's uglier, in my personal opinion. So if you're wanting to buy the new 2DS XL, it still will be pricey and it's still better to go with something else, unless you're a Nintendo fan. The other option is to import from Japan the 3DLL or 2DLL version, which stands for XL, which might be a bit cheaper, but you have to pay for duties, you have to pay for shipping, and in addition to that, you are not be able to play North American cartridges. So if you're a person who doesn't want to homebrew your console, well, in order to play the cartridges that you bought in here, you have to do it. An interesting fact about the new 3DS XL LL in Japan, that in Japan you could use your transport card like Presto here in Canada to pay for your eShop games. If you still think that you need a new 2DS XL or 3DS XL, in my personal opinion, I would better spend a bit more money on the new 3DS XL version. First of all is the actual capability of 3D. You're gonna get a fuller experience of what Nintendo was selling. The second is the actual design of the console. It just looks much better in my personal opinion, and it's easier to find the cases, replacement shells for the new 3DS XL if we compare it to the 2DS XL. And the quality of the plastic and the feel of the console, not a big fan of it. I mean, it looks fine, but I don't know, the 3DS XL just looks much better to me. So if you have some extra cash lying around and you want to make an old handheld collection, feel free to go and buy any of those consoles. If you're a Nintendo fan, again, go and buy any of those consoles, but I would go with the 3DS XL. However, if you're a person looking to emulate some of the games that were available on the 3DS XL and 2DS XL, or even some old Nintendo titles, and not even Nintendo titles, even like Sega, you should look in other consoles. I'm not saying to pirate them, I would say legally acquire ROMs by buying the cartridge and then getting your own ROMs from there, so do not pirate, kids. But if you're interested in that, some of the good options are Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, which is around 150 US dollars right now, or even Ion Odin, which is a bit pricier, $240 right now on sale from $270. And if you're interested in both of those consoles, I'm sure that Wolfden has the reviews on them. His channel is full of those emulation consoles, so feel free to go there to check it out. The only major problem will be if you will decide to play any 2DS or 3DS games, because those consoles have 2 screens. Those emulation consoles have only 1 screen, therefore you will have 2 screens side by side, which doesn't look good, to be honest. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll really appreciate it. If you didn't like the video, press the dislike button, and in the comments down below explain me why you didn't like this video. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Ilya_played, where I do more day-to-day updates and not just the videos in here. So yeah, do let me know in the comments down below if you have the console, if you're planning to get one, or if you just straight away hate them and you think Nintendo is just ripping everybody off. I don't think so, but paying for some games $50 US, which can be bought on Steam for $20, it's not really good. Now, go play some games.